Steam's rating system looks simple, but it's a bit more complicated than it seems. Today, I'm going to tell you how the Steam rating system actually works and how a game really earns its label. Let's get to it. Steam doesn't just slap review labels on games at random. Every label is based on two things: the percentage of players who gave a game a thumbs up and the total number of reviews it has. But here's the catch. No label shows up at all until a game has at least 10 reviews. Until then, you'll just see the number of reviews. Once a game passes 10 reviews, Steam starts attaching labels based on the percentage of positive reviews. Here's how it all breaks down. Overwhelmingly positive means the game has 95% or higher positive reviews and at least 500 total reviews. Very positive is 80 to 94% positive, but you need at least 50 reviews to get it. Positive uses the same percentage range, 80 to 94%, but applies to games with 10 to 49 reviews. Mostly positive is for games with 70 to 79% positive and at least 10 reviews. Mixed is 40 to 69% positive. Mostly negative is 20 to 39% positive. Very negative is 0 to 19% positive with fewer than 50 reviews. And finally, overwhelmingly negative is 0 to 19% but with 500 or more reviews. Those review count milestones matter a lot more than people realize. At 10 reviews, you unlock any label at all. At 50 reviews, you finally get labeled very positive if your rating is high enough. And once you hit 500 reviews and you're still sitting at 95% or higher, that's when you earn the overwhelmingly positive. So even if a game has 100% positive reviews, if it only has 12 of them, the best label it's getting is positive, no matter how good those reviews are. These review labels aren't just for show, they actually affect how well a game performs. Steam uses them in its recommendation system. If your game is very positive or higher, it's more likely to show up on the featured page, in discovery queues, and in those popular or recommended sections. That's why so many developers push hard for early reviews, especially just to get past that first 10 review threshold. And then there's also review bombing. Sometimes a game gets hit with a flood of negative reviews over something like a bad update, policy changes, or controversies. Steam actually watches for this kind of stuff. If they detect what they call off-topic review activity, they can temporarily remove those reviews from the overall score. They don't delete them, they still show in the review timeline, but they won't tank the game's rating during that spike. It's Steam's way of keeping the system fair without outright censoring feedback. So the bottom line is these labels matter for visibility, trust, and how Steam promotes a game. And while the system mostly works, it has its quirks, and Steam is always tweaking it behind the scenes. If this helped clear things up, drop a like, leave a weird comment, and if you want to watch another one, YouTube thinks you'll like the video on screen now.